Welcome back for Reveal Math Grade 2, Unit 10, Lesson 7, which is adjust numbers to subtract three-digit numbers. You'll see that you've done this strategy before with smaller numbers. Now we're just using this for subtracting three-digit numbers. Here's a problem from the homework. Dane has 469 papers in a box. He removes 205 papers from the box. How many papers are still in the box? What friendly equation can you use to solve? So friendly equation just means let's adjust the numbers a little bit to make the subtraction problem easier for us. So I made up a similar problem. I didn't bother writing a word problem here. I just put two numbers down. So 542 minus 258. And imagine the prompt also says make a friendly equation to solve this. Now I don't know if this is actually asking them to only write the friendly equation or to write the friendly equation and solve it. I would err on the side of caution and have them write the friendly equation and solve it, but that might be a question for your child's teacher if you really wanted to know that. Okay, so 542 minus 258. So I can adjust these numbers however I want to. As you learned in a previous unit, we're going to adjust them in whatever way makes the problem easier for us. So I see that 542 is pretty close to a friendly number. 258 is also pretty close to a friendly number. Friendly number really just means a 10, like whatever's closest to make the problem easier. So I'm going to show this both ways. Let's start with the 258. So if I want to adjust that to a friendly number, that would be 260. So that means I need to adjust this up. So I'm going to add 2 to this, and Reveal Math likes to put in a little box with a little arrow. So now my new number is 260. Whatever I do to this second number or the subtrahend, I need to do to the first number also. So I need to adjust them the same way. So I'm going to add 2 to this one also, little arrow, and now I have 544 minus 260, and some of the problems give them blanks to fill in like this. So that's my new friendly equation. Now it's not easy from here even to do this. We know, like as grown-ups, we would probably just do the standard algorithm to solve this, but most of your kids won't have learned the standard algorithm yet, which is fine, like that's a end of second grade or third grade standard even. But they do have lots of other tools in their toolbox now to solve this problem. So I'm going to show it on a number line just because I love number lines. I actually just wrote a whole Substack piece about using number lines for subtracting and adding negative and positive numbers. So if you have middle schoolers, you might want to check that out. Anyway, so I'm starting at 544 here, and I'm going to show both ways of using the number line. So the way where we subtract or the way where we add up to find the difference gets us the same answer. So 544, and I want to take away 260. So I'm going to just make a big leap here of 200. Why not? That gets me to 344. There's a little line. Now I need to take away 60 more, but let's see, I want to hit that nice round number of 300. That'll make things easier for me. So I'm going to take away 44 first. Gets me to 300. And then I still have 16 to take away to get me to 60 instead of just 44. So I'm going to take away 10, gets me to 290, and then another 6 minus 6 gets me to 284, running out of space there. So that equation that I just solved should have the same answer as the original equation because all we did was adjust both numbers in the same direction by the same amount. Now let's say instead I decide I want to adjust the 542 down by 2. Totally fine to do that as well. That gets me to 540, as long as I do the same thing to the second number. Little arrow, little arrow. So my new equation now is 540 minus 256. Now I'm going to show this one on the number line also, but using the strategy they learned in Unit 10, Lesson 4, which was counting up to figure out the answer to a subtraction problem. So here's my 540. And I have 256, and I want to find the difference. So I'm going to count on or count up to see see what the space between 256 and 540 is. So let's see. I'm going to add 4 first. Why not? Gets me to a nice number of 260. Then I'm going to add 40, so I can get to 300. And then let's do plus 200. Gets me to 500. And then plus 40. Gets me to 540 there. And these jumps, again, I've said this a bunch of times, but they can be whatever your child wants them to be. It's really just like what works in their mind. This actually was much easier for me than the previous strategy of counting back on the number line. So I see now that this is the difference. So 200 plus 40 is 280, so 284. That was a whole lot easier than subtracting back on the number line. If your kids want to use base 10 blocks to figure this out, that is totally fine too. The really important thing here is that they remember that when we subtract, we have to adjust the two numbers in the same direction by the same amount. If you remember when we did addition, which I'm going to show right up here quickly, we had to adjust the numbers in opposite ways by the same amount. So say I adjusted this one down by 2, I would have to adjust this one up by 2 to compensate for it. And that you can kind of imagine on the number line. If we added 2 to both numbers, we would just end up with a higher sum in the end. We would end up with a higher sum by 4. So that wouldn't work with addition. But with subtraction, we can adjust them, we do adjust them in the same direction by the same amount. If you kind of think about it, I'm trying to circle this here. Let's see if this works. All right, this down here is a constant difference. So I could actually like move this difference wherever I want on the number line. I can move this up to 542 minus 258, and it'll be the same distance, the same length on the number line. I could move it down. I could move it, way over here to like, I don't know, adjust them very differently, like 530 minus 246. I think I did that right quickly in my head. It would still be the same amount because it's showing the distance between those two on the number line. Thanks as always for watching. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can leave requests for topics or grade levels or different math curricula in the comments. And if you'd like to, check out my Substack, Make Math Make Sense. And my email is at the bottom of the screen if anyone wants to get in touch.